diamonds on a ring of gold. You say you want your story to remain untold, but all the promises we made, from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you. You say you'll give me a highway with no one on it, treasure just to look upon it, all the riches in the night. You say you'll give me eyes in a moon of blindness, a river in the time of dryness, a harbor in the tempest, but all the promises we made, from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you. You say you want your love to work out right, to last with me through the night. You say you want diamonds on a ring of gold, your story to remain untold, your love not to grow cold, but all the promises we made, from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out All I Want Is You by U2. We're not looking at the electric parts that The Edge was famous for. We're looking at more a kind of acousticy, strummy kind of version. It's a great song for people, you know, getting out and playing acoustic gigs. It's not very difficult to sing, really popular. It's got a nice little riff there. And the majority of the song is A to D. And it's a really interesting song for looking at various chords that you can substitute, or different grips for the chords, so you can kind of try and keep things interesting. Because if you play it with the same rhythm and the same chords all of the way through, it definitely gets a bit boring just on an acoustic guitar and voice. Of course, the original recording's got lots of different layers of guitar and instrumentation that kind of carries it along. So we're going to start off with a real simple look at like a kind of a beginner version. It does have an F sharp minor chord in it, so it's not maybe the best beginner song. I'll show you a little cheat for that you might like to use if you're new to bar chords, but generally speaking, you probably want to be playing your F sharp minor bar chord. But there are loads and loads of interesting ways of playing the A and D that we're going to explore as well. So let's get stuck in. So I'm going to start off by strumming with my thumb, the fleshy part of my thumb, and it's just going A to D. That's the basic chords, just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And notice already 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I've got a little accent thing going on there with the thumb. Those little accents are really important. If you don't have it, if it's just straight, like that's not it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Especially once we start adding in the little riff and stuff, those accents become important. So at the beginning, we start with the verse, just still staying on those chords. U, A, U, D, A chord and a ring of D, U, to the F sharp and all the F sharp minors. Okay, so F sharp minor here, first finger bar in the 2nd fret, 3rd and 4th fingers in the 4th fret here. Okay, so the tricky one usually here is getting that 3rd string to ring out clearly. You might want to experiment with exactly how far up you put your 1st finger if you're struggling there. A nice cheat if you're really struggling is just to use your 1st finger to cover the thinnest 3 strings with your 3rd and 4th fingers there and just mute the thicker string. Okay, that kind of works like that most of the time. Even though the bass note is missing, it'll still sound pretty cool, right? So technically it's an F sharp minor / C sharp. It's just a substitute for the F sharp if you can't do the full bar chord version yet, and that's perfectly legit. So from all the F sharp minors we D, from the F sharp minor again to the D, when A I D is the riff. Now let's have a look at that little riff here, because there's a little bit going on here. So that classic riff, we're starting on an A, but we're lifting 3rd finger up to reveal an A sus2. So down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. One E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a. Now, this is one of those songs where trying to count the rhythm for that riff is much more difficult than playing the riff itself. If you keep your hand moving continuously, your strumming hand moving continuously, and just think it goes da 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 I find that so much easier to learn than trying to think 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 and E and I kind of feel like it misses the point. Remember on the original recording that the actual guitar part playing that riff is playing it on its own. Okay, so there is multiple layers of guitar going on here. There's the kind of a strummy part, then there's a guitar literally going there's that lead line is picked out, and there's a clean electric guitar also playing the chords and highlighting that thing. So there's a few layers there, so you're not expecting yourself when you're doing a strummy chord thing to be able to pick up on every nuance of that. Okay, so feel free to experiment a little bit, but like I said, if you can kind of hum it and strum it at the same time, you should be able to get your fingers to make the right movements to be able to play that song. So let's just go through the riff one more time, nice and slow. 3, 4. Just noticing nearly all of the changes are happening with a down strum. Down, 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 down. The last 2 notes on the A here, there's that little, but I don't really think that's what's going on the record. Sometimes it sounds like notes lifting up on the chord. Like I said, it's difficult to tell because there's a lead guitar playing that line separately, so it's not the same as what we'd play it on acoustic guitar. So I encourage you to have an experiment, see how you're feeling about that part. But if you've got that, that's the whole tune. We looked at the verse is literally just A to D, and then the chorus has the F sharp minor to D, F sharp minor to D, A to D, and then you're back at the riff, which is just A to D. So where it becomes what's important with this song, as I mentioned earlier, is just not playing it the same way all of the way through. So one thing that I think works really great on this is using the thumb for the first part of the verses. So just having this nice muted part. And when you're strumming there on the D, if you hit the A string accidentally, it doesn't really matter. And I don't hear that note much on the D chord. So I tend to just, my second finger might look like it's down, but it's the string's muted by the underneath of the third finger, even if it's hanging around there. So I'd recommend starting like that. That's what you got on the original recording. Like I said, you don't need to put the full D down. You can just have this little, technically it's a D5, I guess, but if you put your second finger down, just mute the thing at the thinner string. It's all good, whichever one floats your boat, really. So you'd have a say you want, with your accents, of course. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and you say you want story to remain untold. Even stay here for the first part, the F sharp minor. I'd still be doing the thumb. Keep it nice. But after this, we're going to go into the riff, and I'm going to change from using my thumb to using my first fingernail here. How different does that sound? Just by changing the way that I'm playing it, from using the fleshy part of my thumb, which sounds nice and round, to using the crispness of my nail, it really adds a new dimension to it. So that gives you another way of developing your dynamics. Because like I said, if you play it the same all of the way through, it's really boring. If you go to see like singer-songwriter acts or like a covers thing, you often see people doing this kind of tune that way, and it is just enough already. It's kind of a long song like that. So you need to find some ways of spicing it up. So what I want to talk to you about now is some approaches that you might like to experiment with moving from the A to the D. I use all of them all the time. These are just ideas because it's kind of an interesting thing to study and a cool thing to get a bit of a look at. So let's go through and just look at some of these different approaches that you might like to try. So here's the first one. I love this A chord. This is an A chord. This is open 5th string, 7th fret, 6th fret, open, open. It's an A add 9, I guess you'd call it. But when it comes to the D, you could either play like a D5 power chord, and even though you got that B string ringing out, which isn't part of the chord, kind of works still. You give me a highway with no one on it. It's just a different sound. Another kind of variation that you might like to try is putting your first finger down the 5th fret of the thinner string. So you have A, and you're putting just the little finger down, and the B string is still open. I'm going to talk about another variation of that in a second. I really like that one. I like these ones with an open string ringing out all the time. It's just something I like the sound of. You might like the sound of it, you might not. It's cool. Pick the ones that you like the sound of. Now, what you hear on the record a lot is this kind of A to D sus like that. That's really a lot of the edge thing is playing those 3 notes with a cool dotted 8th note delay, and hearing that over both of the chords, the same little pattern, right? But if you play it on your own, you probably want to have some sort of difference. So you might want to muck around with playing A, and then just adding that little finger. It already works, even though we haven't changed the bass note. You say you give me a highway with no one on it. It's just cool. It's just like, it's another approach to play. When you've got all of these A to Ds, you want to find some interesting ways of delivering them, okay? So on that note, another one, I like this one as well. So this is open the 5th string, 11th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret. This is a little A triad, thinner string open. And then we can go to a D here, which is 12, 11, 10, just like the middle part of this D chord like that. So you say you give me eyes and moon of blindness, a river in a time of dryness. You could switch a harbor in tempest, you say. I didn't talk about this one. I probably should have mentioned that at the start. Just playing A sus2 here, and then D sus2. Okay, this is kind of one of the beautiful things about U2 is the way they use these suspended chords, because sus chords are neither major or minor, so they've got this kind of airy kind of quality to them. So having you say, you give me a highway with no one on it. And those chords are easier. No going up the dust end or anything like that. So have a go with those ones. There are lots of other little shapes that you might try A like this. To D. This one that I've used before. So there's so many different things that you can approach here. I would definitely encourage you to explore different ideas to come up with your own arrangement. As I said, what you want to avoid is doing it the same way all of the way through. Unless you're a complete beginner and you're just learning your chords and you're trying to wrestle with your F sharp minor, then this is a great song for that too. Great song for developing your vocals. Also a really nice track just to play along with. Speaking of playing along, if you haven't checked it out yet, the JustinGuitar Lessons and Songs app is your perfect companion if you want backing tracks to play along with. The reason that backing tracks are so great is because it means that you don't stop. Many beginners, when they're learning, they practice stopping with a difficult chord. For example, they're doing this song and they've got all through here, it's all going well, and then comes the F sharp minor and they go, F sharp like that. And then they get going again. And that's a really bad habit to get into because music doesn't stop. The rhythm of music is really important, so practicing along with backing tracks will help you develop the urgency and the speed to get your chord changes going on. So if you haven't checked it out already, do go and check out JustinGuitar Lessons and Songs app, available for iOS and Android, so you might want to give that a little look. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I'd love to see your covers as well. We've got a special area over on the website of student performances, which me and the rest of the team are checking out very regularly. So if you're happy to learn this song, head over to the lesson page on the website and maybe upload or link a video of you playing it on YouTube, and we'll try and check it out as well. We're often running little prizes in that area as well, so you might win some cool swag as well. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.